In recent months, the United States has been consumed by the issue of immigration, and as the situation at the border and within the country intensifies, this issue is taking on increasingly urgent forms. The deportation situation, which started in New York and other major cities, has become not only a political topic, but also a true tragedy for thousands of families. President Donald Trump announced the beginning of the largest deportation campaign in U.S. history, and every day local authorities and ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, are taking more decisive steps to implement this policy. The first signs of alarm appeared in New York, where local authorities began discussing with ICE the necessity of deporting migrants who had committed crimes. As a result, President Trump put the issue of mass deportations on the agenda, which has caused widespread concern among the migrant population. Migrants like Jason Gonzalez from Venezuela express fears about tightening laws and possible raids at workplaces, raids that could lead to family separations and severe restrictions for future immigrants raise more questions. How many people will actually be deported, and how will this affect society? Migrants in New York and other major cities are starting to prepare for the worst. For instance, children are being taught what to do if their parents are deported. Families, losing hope, are searching for ways to survive in this crisis. Meanwhile, the situation is made worse by delays at ICE headquarters and in immigration courts, where the queues stretch to millions of cases. This adds additional tension, as many migrants face uncertainty and fear of potential deportation, which could happen at any moment. At the same time, the situation at the southern border of the United States is becoming increasingly critical. In response to migration-related threats, President Trump declared a state of emergency, which led to an increase in military presence. 1,500 soldiers, including Marines with heavy weaponry and Osprey aircraft, were sent to strengthen security and maintain order at the border. Military planes were the first to be used for deportations, transporting migrants back to their countries of origin. Planes with 160 migrants landed in Guatemala, marking the beginning of a large-scale deportation campaign. But how many migrants will be outside the U.S. in the near future? Is this just the beginning of a long process that will involve more than 11 million undocumented immigrants? As U.S. authorities ramp up pressure on migrants, mass raids and arrests have taken place across the country. In major cities such as New York, Boston, and Newark, operations were carried out, resulting in the detention of 538 people in the past 24 hours. Fighting against undocumented immigrants has become the main priority, especially if they have committed violent crimes. This has led to a rise in arrests and increasing pressure on local authorities, who are already struggling to cope with the consequences. Deporting 11 million undocumented immigrants is an enormous task that requires significant resources, time, and effort. And here's the crucial question: will the U.S. be prepared for the consequences of such a large-scale process? The demonstration of force by the U.S. government is intended to show all undocumented migrants that their continued stay in the country is impossible. But how will this affect the social and economic life of the country? Will mass deportation lead to a loss of labor, especially in sectors like agriculture and construction? Migrants who are being deported are already starting to ask questions. Can they truly be rejected by the society they helped build? Answers to these questions remain unknown. The deportation campaign continues, and more people are worrying not only about their own fate, but about the future of the country as a whole.